The human body was designed to seek food when it is hungry. Yet today, millions of people train on an empty stomach. Some report faster fat loss. Others suddenly feel clearer, more alert. And still others have to stop their workout because of shaking and dizziness. So what is really happening inside the body when movement meets fasting? Is this a clever metabolic switch, or a form of stress that not every body can tolerate? Training itself is already a form of controlled stress. Fasting is as well. When the two come together, the body is not simply short on energy. It has to make biological decisions. Should it release the last remaining sugar from storage? Should it switch to burning fat? Or should it activate stress hormones to force performance? In the modern world, where food is available at any time, training in a fasted state feels like an experiment. But from an evolutionary perspective, movement was almost always linked to hunger. Our ancestors did not hunt after breakfast. They hunted in order to get one. The human metabolism was designed precisely for such situations. The only crucial question is this: does the modern body still respond the same way? Or has it fallen out of balance due to chronic stress and overnutrition? Before the workout even begins, the body is already in a different energetic state. Insulin levels are low. This is crucial. Low insulin means no energy is coming from the outside. The body has to rely on itself. The liver begins releasing stored glycogen. At the same time, fat cells are activated and release free fatty acids into the bloodstream. The body prepares for a shift, away from fast sugar, towards stored energy. For the brain, this phase has priority. It continues to be supplied with glucose and, during longer fasting periods, also with ketone bodies. This transition phase is often referred to as metabolic flexibility, the ability to switch between energy sources depending on the situation. But this state is fragile. It works smoothly, as long as no additional stress is added. And that is exactly what changes the moment training begins. The moment the body starts to move, its internal chemistry shifts abruptly. The nervous system switches gears. Adrenaline and noradrenaline rise. The heart rate accelerates. Energy is mobilized. In a fasted state, this reaction is stronger, because there is no sugar from the last meal that the body can fall back on. The liver responds immediately. It releases glucose and at the same time begins producing new glucose. In parallel, fat burning increases significantly. Fat cells release free fatty acids, which serve as fuel for the muscles. As long as the intensity remains moderate, this system works remarkably efficiently. Many people describe, during this phase, a feeling of lightness, focus, and calm energy. But this balance has limits. As intensity increases, the stress hormone cortisol also rises. It ensures that blood sugar remains stable, if necessary, at the expense of other tissues. The body is not fighting for performance. It is fighting for stability. Not every type of training challenges the body in the same way. During easy to moderate endurance training, the body works predominantly aerobically. Oxygen is sufficiently available. Fat can be burned efficiently. In this range, the fasted state is often not a disadvantage. On the contrary, the body taps into fatty acids early, blood sugar remains stable, and many people experience steady, calm energy. The situation looks very different with high-intensity interval training or heavy strength training. Here, the muscles require rapidly available energy, glucose, but this very resource is limited in a fasted state. The result, glycogen stores are depleted more quickly. The liver has to provide new glucose under high pressure. As the load continues to rise, cortisol levels rise as well. This hormone ensures survival, not optimal training performance. In this phase, the body may begin to use amino acids from muscle tissue to keep blood sugar stable. What begins as fat burning can, at the wrong intensity, shift into catabolic stress. The difference does not lie in fasting itself, but in how intensely the body is being challenged. The workout is over. But for the metabolism, a decisive phase is only just beginning. After fasted training, the body is in a state of increased insulin sensitivity. This means, when food is consumed later, glucose can be taken up more efficiently into the muscles. Less sugar ends up in fat tissue. more energy is used for repair and adaptation. At the same time, fat burning remains elevated for several hours. The body stays longer in a state of drawing energy from stored reserves. From an evolutionary perspective, this makes sense. After physical exertion, food was never immediately available. The metabolism was designed to make do with what was available. But this is also where a common trap lies. Those who, after training, consume large amounts of sugar without thought abruptly interrupt this adaptation process. The metabolism switches back into storage mode. The potential benefits of fasted training do not arise from the training alone, but from what happens afterward, or does not happen. Training in a fasted state is not a universal tool, and it is not a test of willpower. For some bodies, this combination can cause more harm than benefit. Particular caution is advised for people who take blood sugar lowering medications, tend toward low blood pressure, frequently experience dizziness or trembling, have a history of eating disorders, are pregnant or breastfeeding. But even in healthy individuals, the body sends clear warning signals. Persistent lightheadedness, shaky hands, unusual irritability, or exhaustion that lasts throughout the entire day. These are not signs of adaptation. They are signs of overload. In these moments, cortisol continues to rise, blood sugar is stabilized at all costs, and the body shifts from a training response into pure survival mode. Fasting and training should strengthen the metabolism, not drain it. When movement meets fasting, the body does not shut down. It switches modes. Under the right conditions, fasted training can promote fat burning, improve metabolic flexibility, and increase insulin sensitivity. But beyond that threshold, the same stimulus turns into stress. The difference does not lie in fasting itself, not in training, but in whether the body is still adapting or already compensating. Fasting is not a competition. Training is not a punishment. Both are tools that only work when they fit the individual metabolism. Those who learn to read the body's signals learn more than any rule could ever teach. Have you ever trained in a fasted state? Did it give you energy or take it away? Share your experience in the comments. And if you are interested in how the human body truly uses energy, subscribe to the channel.